Hello students, here I have come with the explanation of the poem Night Mail, which has been written by W.H. Auden. Uh, the poem Night Mail is a very nice poem, and this poem describes the journey of a train. So, the poem is actually about a coach that travels through various plain and hilly areas. The train brings letters, checks, and postal orders for all type of people. The train passes through fields and farms, but life is not disturbed by its journey. The poet wants to tell us that the train brings both good and bad news for the people. It reaches in time regardless of harsh and unfavorable weather conditions. So, in the first four lines, we see that this is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order, letters for the rich, letter for the poor, the shop at the corner, the girl next door. So, in this stanza, the poet describes the arrival of night mail. The poet says that night mail is crossing the border of the country. It is entering the country with a lot of letters, checks, postal orders, and other post. The train is bringing letters for the rich people, for the poor people, and the letters for the shop which is located at the corner. So, night mail is also bringing letters for the girl next door. The poet wants to say that night mail brings letters for the people of every walk of life. Means for rich, poor, for a boy, for a girl, for the old man, for everyone. Then in the next four lines, it is pulling a beat up, a steady climb. The gradients against her, but she's on time. Past caught in grass and moorland boulder, shoveling white steam over her shoulder. So in these lines, the poet describes the journey of night mail through different types of areas. The poet says the train is pulling its cars towards high areas and climbing the hills with the steadiest speed. In spite of obstacles and hurdles in her way, she reaches on time. So, actually, these lines tell us about the importance of time and schedule. She does not waste a moment and efficiently keeps on with her journey. She passes through cotton fields, meadows, and grassy fields. She uses coal to get power. That is why she throws white smoke across her shoulders. The poem is sweet rhythm with the readers enjoy. So, as we all know, that the uh, steam engines are run by the coal, so that's why the steam is released from the steam engine. In the next four line, again the poet is describing the journey of the night mail only. He says that she moves with determination. She crosses the miles of grassy area. She makes noise while passing the utter silence of wind bent grasses. She is making noise, telling everyone about her arrival. आपने देखा होगा कि कितना साउंड करती है ट्रेन. So why it is making a noise? Just to tell everybody that the train is arriving. The birds are sleeping in their nest and they are awakened by its noise. ठीक है, तो शोर शराबे से जो नेस्ट में जो बर्ड सो रही थी वो भी जाग जाती हैं. बट दे आर नॉट अफ्रेड. दीज बर्ड्स आर नॉट एट ऑल अफ्रेड of the noise at all. So uh, of her at all, as they know that she is just doing her business. Why they are not afraid? Because the birds know that this noise is harmless for them. It will not going to harm anybody because the train is doing her work. They just turn their heads to look at her. They stare at her empty coaches. The poet has used the term blank faced to show that the coaches were without passenger. Then in the next four lines, sheep dogs cannot turn her cold, they slumber on with paws across. In the farm she passes, no one wakes, but a jug in a bedroom gently shakes. So in this stanza, the poet describes the reaction of sheep and dogs and other animals on the arrival of the night mail. The poet says that the animal cannot change her course. Animals कोई ऐसा थोड़ी कि उसके रास्ते को बदल देंगी. They just keep sleeping with paws across. They know they have nothing to do with night mail, so they show no reaction on her arrival. They are reactionless. They do not react when they see the train approaching. Okay, because they know they cannot do anything. So the life in the farm is not affected by her arrival. The people in the farm keeps on sleeping. They know the train will pass. कुछ चीज़ें हमें पता है कि ये होनी है, ठीक है. जो लोग प्लेटफॉर्म के आसपास रहते हैं, ठीक है, या स्टेशन के आसपास, रेलवे स्टेशन के आसपास रहते हैं, तो इट इज़ देयर यूजुअल हैबिट. दे हैव इनकलकेटेड द हैबिट. उनको आए दिन रात में, दिन में वो ट्रेन की साउंड सुनाई देती है. दे हैव बिकम यूज्ड टू इट, so they do not get irritated. They keep on sleeping. They do not get disturbed. So not even the people, the animals or bird, they do not get disturbed by it because they know the train will pass. But a jug in a bedroom shakes slightly as she passes by. आपने देखा होगा कि चीज़ें जो है, अगर आप बहुत नियर बाय रेलवे स्टेशन के रहते हैं तो वो चीज़ें थोड़ा सा, जो लाइट वेटेड चीज़ें होती है, वो थोड़ा सा शेक करने लगती हैं, हिलने लगती हैं. So the train is going through rough and plain places, the field, the grassy lands and the slopey areas, but she still reaches on the time. So the jug shakes. So at dawn, the train descends into the Glasgow. There she heads towards dark furnaces set up like gigantic chessmen. All of Scotland craves her arrival, for the men want news. Means वहाँ के जो लोग हैं वो वेट करते हैं इस ट्रेन का, क्योंकि उन्हें पता है कि इस ट्रेन के आने से उन्हें अपने लोगों की खबरें मिलेंगी. ठीक है. So there are letters of all sorts and for all people, receipts, invitations, applications, declarations of love, gossip from around the world, news both circumstantial and financial, letters from family members, letters with doodles in the margins, letter from all over Europe, letters of condolence, all written on paper of every color imaginable. You can imagine that everybody over there waits for the letter, because at that time mobile were not in fashion. Means it wasn't even invented. So तब उस ज़माने में जब लेटर्स ही हुआ करते थे, मोबाइल फ़ोन नहीं होते थे, तो लोग कैसे डेस्परेटली अपनों के लेटर्स का वेट करते थे जिससे उन्हें दुनिया भर की खबरें मिलें, अपने रिश्तेदारों की खबरें मिलें. ठीक है. सो द लेटर्स हैव ऑल टोन्स एंड स्टाइल्स, कैटी, फ्रेंडली, कोल्ड, बोरिंग, क्लेवर, स्टूपिड, all types of tones were there, and some were printed, some are misspelled, So thousands still sleep and dream, have nightmares. So they are asleep in Glasgow and in Edinburgh. They dream on, but they hope that when they awake, they will have letters. मीन्स वो वेट करते थे. आप ये जस्ट इमेजिन कि वो दौर क्या होता था कि जब मोबाइल फ़ोन्स नहीं होते थे. लेटर्स देश के और दुनिया के कॉर्नर कॉर्नर से आते थे. कहीं कहीं दिन लग जाते थे और अपनों के बारे में जानने के लिए लोग कितना डेस्परेट होते थे. ठीक है, तो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट फील, दैट एक्साइटमेंट. ठीक है, कई बार अगर उनको आइडिया होता था कि भाई उनका लेटर आने वाला होता तो रात रात भर वो सो भी नहीं पाते थे कि अगली सुबह उन्हें अपनों का लेटर मिलेगा. तो their heart will pound and when they hear the knock on the door of the postman, for who can bear to feel himself forgotten. ठीक है, तो everyone wants to be remembered and no one wants to be forgotten. So as I told you, letters of thanks, letter from bank, letter of joy from the girl and boy, receipted bills and invitation to inspect new stock or visit relation, and application for situations and timid lover declaration, and gossip from all the nation, new circumstantial, new financial, letter with holiday snap to enlarge, and letter with faces scrawled on the margin, letters from uncle, cousin and aunts, letter to Scotland from the south of France, letters of condolence to highlands and the lowlands. So all these are the types of letters कि किस तरीके के letters आते थे. Note from overseas to the hybrids written on paper of every hue. मीन्स जो लेटर के जो पेपर होते थे कलरफुल होते थे, हर कलर के होते थे. द पिंक, द वायलेट, द वाइट एंड द ब्लू, द चैटी, द कैटी. कई बोरिंग भी होते थे, कुछ बहुत एडोरेबल भी होते थे, कुछ बहुत कोल्ड टाइप के जिसके अंदर देवर नो इमोशंस. कुछ ऑफिशियल लेटर्स होते थे एंड कुछ हार्ट आउटपोरिंग मीन्स जो दिल को छू जाए. क्लेवर, स्टूपिड, शॉर्ट एंड लॉन्ग, कुछ छोटे कुछ लंबे, मतलब हर तरीके के एवरी सॉर्ट ऑफ लेटर्स वर देयर इन एवरी टोन. कुछ टाइप्ड होते थे, कुछ प्रिंटेड होते थे, कुछ को जिनको नहीं बहुत अच्छे से लिखना नहीं आता था तो देवर सम स्पेलिंग एरर्स ऑल्सो. तो thousands are still asleep dreaming of terrifying monster or a friendly tea besides the pen at Cranston or Cowards. So asleep in working Glasgow, asleep in well set Edinburgh, asleep in granite Aberdeen, they continue their dreams. जो मैंने आपको बताया था कि मीन्स दे वर सो डेस्परेट. कईयों को लगता था कि हो सकता है कोई बुरी खबर हो, ठीक है, तो उनको वो नाइट मेयर्स के जैसे से आते थे. और किन को लगता था कि अच्छे से मतलब कि सम गुड न्यूज़ दे विल गेट, तो वो उस एक्साइटमेंट में रात में सो भी नहीं पाते थे. तो एक्चुअली व्हाट इज़ द पर्पस ऑफ राइटिंग दिस लेटर नाइट मेल. एक्चुअली जो पोएट हैं वो कुछ हम लोगों को बताना चाह रहे हैं कि जिस तरीके से एक ट्रेन बिना रुके हुए अपना काम करती चली जाती है, तो इन द सेम मैनर द ह्यूमन बीइंग शुड लिव इट्स लाइफ. ठीक है, हम ह्यूमन बीइंग्स को भी ऐसे ही बिना रुके काम करना चाहिए. लाइक so through this poem, the poet wants to teach us that a man, like a train, sees different periods of life and he has to face hard days. So he also enjoys pleasure of life, what are the circumstances are. Like a train, he should be regular, punctual and sturdy. He should do his duty earnestly and definitely it will bring him success and fame. Hopefully the poem is clear to you all. If you have any problem then you can ask questions.